myself Anmol Jain, Department of Computer Science from ABES Engineering College. Today we will going to start the concept of the automata, which is a prerequisite for the compiler design, right. So, the basic concepts for the compiler design which are required from the theory of automata is the finite state machine, regular expression and the optimization of DFA. So, we will use these concepts in the compiler design also, right. So, first we will see that what is the finite state machine or the finite automata. So, there is a term finite automata which is divided in two parts. One is the deterministic finite automata and second is non-deterministic finite automata. So, first we will see that what is the meaning of the deterministic finite automata. In finite automata, that means there is a finite state for each input alphabet, right. So, what is the meaning of the finite? Finite means suppose I am going to design a machine which is going to start from q 0 and ending with q 2 with input alphabet 1, right. So, finite means that for a particular input it will move to the a fixed or a unique state which we call as a unique transition, right. That means हर इनपुट सिंबल के लिए स्टेट चेंज होगा वो एक यूनिक होगा, दैट मीन्स वो फाइनाइट होगा, दैट्स वाई वी आर कॉलिंग इट एज अ फाइनाइट ऑटोमेटा. ऑटोमेटा इज लाइक अ ऑटोमेटिक मशीन, राइट. सेकेंड थिंग विद द फाइनाइट ऑटोमेटा इज दैट नो नल मूव्स आर एक्सेप्टेड, राइट. इसमें कोई भी नल मूव्स जिसको हम एप्सिलॉन मूव्स भी बोलते हैं दैट आर नॉट एक्सेप्टेड. A DFA is defined as a 5 tuples as we have already studied in the automata. Just to quick review, this is a 5 tuples, that is Q, that is a set of states, sigma that is the set of input symbols, Q 0 is known as the starting state or the initial state, F is the set of final state or states, that means there may be more than one final states in an DFA, and last is the delta, that is known as the transition function, which is defined as that the q cross sigma is going to q. So, what is the meaning of the q cross sigma? That means at each state if I apply any input alphabet, it leads to only a unique transition q, right. But if we compare it with the non-deterministic finite automata, non-deterministic means there is no deterministic, there is no unique transition, there may be no unique transition for each alphabet, input alphabet, right. So, what does it mean? Non-deterministic means here we see that this is my state q naught and it is moving to state q 1 on the transition of 0, but at the same time this is also moving to itself, that is q 0 on the transition of 0. That means q 0 पर 0 के ट्रांजिशन से मैं q 1 पे भी जा सकता हूँ और q 0 पर 0 के ट्रांजिशन से मैं q 0 पर फिर से आ सकता हूँ. So, this is not the case of the deterministic. If this is the case, then we call it this is a non-deterministic finite automata, right. The difference between the deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata is the mainly the deterministic transition function, that is the q cross sigma की मैपिंग क्या है, इसमें 2 रेज़ टू द पावर q से हो सकती है. दैट मीन्स एक स्टेट जो q है, q नॉट है आपकी, वो किसी भी पॉसिबल स्टेट पर जा सकती है, राइट. वॉट एवर द पॉसिबल केसेज ऑफ द दैट ऑल केसेज विल बी कवर्ड इनटू 2 रेज़ टू द पावर q. So, this is a important difference between the deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata. Second difference is that NFA accept the null moves. There may be the case of the null moves or we call it a epsilon moves, right. So, this is a difference between the NFA and DFA. If I talk about the compiler design, we always try to write the DFA. We will start whatever be the case, we will start with the NFA, but we will try to reach up to the DFA. मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव जो है वो किसी भी लैंग्वेज के लिए, किसी भी ग्रामर के लिए एक DFA कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है, राइट. सो हियर यू शुड ऑल्सो हैव द नॉलेज ऑफ NFA टू DFA also, which is also required. Next is the problem start with the regular expression. How we will write the regular expression for a given problem? So, regular expression is a sequence of pattern that defines a string, or we can say that defines a set of string, not a string, it defines a set of strings. It is used to denote regular languages. Why we are using the regular languages? Because regular languages deals with DFA, right. So, here we have certain styles to denote the regular expression. Here we have the R, this is regular expression, and star. It means, star means that it can contain 0 or more occurrence of R. So, that means R star contains, it may contains the epsilon, any occurrence of R, that is a single R, any occurrence of R, that is R followed by R, 3 R's, 4 R, and so on. So, basic purpose of R star is to include the epsilon. So, in contrast of the star, we have the R plus. This plus means that one or more occurrence of R. यहाँ पर क्या था, 0 और more occurrence, यहाँ पर क्या है आपका 1 और more occurrence. That means minimum 1 time occurrence होना ही चाहिए. For example, R plus है, that is R. That means epsilon is not included here, right. So, this is R, 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 and so on, right. Next is, that is R1 or R2. So, this sign is used to denote OR sign, either. So, R1 or R2, that it means either R1 or R2. Next symbol is R1 dot R2, that means R1 followed by R2. So, in this way we can write the regular expression for our problems, or problems mean the set of strings. For example, I say that write a regular expression over the input alphabet 0 and 1 in such a way that it start with 1, starting किससे होती है, 1 से होती है, and ending with 0. स्टार्टिंग किससे होनी चाहिए, 1 से होनी चाहिए, और एंडिंग किससे होनी चाहिए, 0 से होनी चाहिए, बीच में चाहे कुछ भी आ सकता है. सो हाउ आई कैन राइट द रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन फॉर इट. सो I start my regular expression with the 1, that means it will create all these strings which will start with 1. Similarly, ending with 0, लास्ट में क्या लगा दिया मैंने, 0, राइट. बीच में क्या है, बीच में कोई भी कॉम्बिनेशन 0 और 1 का आ सकता है, कितनी भी बार 0 कितनी बार 1 आ सकता है, उस पर कोई लिमिट नहीं है. सो दी रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन फॉर दैट इज 0 plus 1, plus means or, 0 or 1, star means any combination of 0 and 1, either starting with 0 or 1, but it will start with 1 followed by any occurrence of 0 and 1 and end with 0, right. So, in this way we write the regular expression for our problem. Second problem is, suppose starting and ending with 0, starting भी किससे हो, 0 से हो, ending भी किससे हो, 0 से हो, and having any combination ऑफ वंस इन बिटवीन, और उसके बीच में वंस का कोई भी कॉम्बिनेशन आ सकता है. वन का कॉम्बिनेशन मीन्स कोई भी वन ना हो, सिंगल वन हो, टू टाइम्स वन हो, 3 टाइम्स वन हो. सो हाउ आई कैन राइट इट, दैट इज स्टार्टिंग विद 0 फॉलोड बाय एनी कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 1, दैट इज 1 स्टार, एनी कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 1 and ending with 0. So, in this way I can write the regular expression for this problem. Next problem is, suppose the any number of zeros followed by any number of ones. If any number of zeros and any number of ones means, that is a 0 star and 1 star. It is followed by means starting कहाँ से होनी चाहिए आपकी 0 से, right. So, any number of zeros and any number of ones. So, 0 star 1 star. So, this will help us to write the regular expression for my programming languages. Like my programming language, I take an example of a C language. My programming language contains tokens and I have to write the DFA for these tokens. So, in C language basically I have 5 types of token. One is the keyword. So, the regular expression for the keywords can be written in this way: int, char, float, double, for, while, auto, if, else and so on. So, this is a regular expression for the keyword. Similarly, second token is the identifier. So, the definition of the identifier is it should start with the letter followed by letter oblique digit. That means, any identifier should start with the letter. So, what will be the regular expression for this? That it should start with the letter and followed by it may be combination of any letter or digit. So, how it can be represented in the regular expression? Letter oblique digit. That means, this will contain all possible combination like this: A, B, this is letter followed by any letter oblique digit ka star. That means, it may be 0 also. There is no occurrence of letter and no occurrence of digit. A 1, this is also an identifier, but suppose I say that 1 A, is it an identifier? No, this is not an identifier. This is not an identifier because it is not starting with the letter, it is starting with the digit. So, this is not an identifier. Similarly, next token is my operators. So, my language may contain or have the plus operation, minus operation, multiplication, divide, greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to, right. So, this is the regular expression for the operators. Similarly, next token is my digit or constants. So, digit or constants can be written in the form of 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 and so on up to 9 followed by plus sign. What does it mean? That there should be at least one occurrence of any digit. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि कुछ भी नंबर ना लिखूं और कह दूं कि एक नंबर है. So, any combination of these digits, that means 0, 0 1, 0 1 2, 0 1 2, any occurrence of any number. So, this is representing my digit or constants, and the last is the punctuation symbol. So, punctuation symbols or sometimes we call it as a special symbol. So, we can write the regular expression comma, colon, semicolon or opening bracket, closing bracket, opening curly braces, closing curly braces and so on. So, in this way I can write the regular expression for my token. So, this is an example for the C. I can write the regular expression for any programming language. So, this is the objective to learn the regular expression for compiler, right. Next problem that we use when we design a compiler, once we have a DFA. So, before DFA generally we may have an NFA, we convert NFA to DFA and a DFA may have a number of states. If it is having more than one states, then we will try to optimize this DFA. The optimization of DFA can be done with the help of minimization of the DFA. The meaning of the minimization of DFA is that we should be able to find out those states which are equivalent. कुछ states हमारी DFA में ऐसी होती हैं जो equivalent होती हैं. We will see that what is the meaning of the equivalent states. जो equivalent states होती हैं, I can put them into one state or I can merge the equivalent states into one state. So, the minimization is very important for the compiler design. So, minimization of DFA means reducing the number of states, because if I am able to reduce the number of states, I am reducing my compiler design program, right. Second, minimization is achieved by the concept of equivalent states. मैंने बताया जैसे equivalent states मैं क्यों find out करूँगा, because equivalent states can be merged, right? Now the definition of the equivalent stated, two states qi and qj are said to be equivalent states if their transitions from each input alphabet leads to the same states. For example, there are two states, one is q0 and one is q1, and q0 leads to q2, 0 के ट्रांजिशन पर q0 कहाँ जाता है, q2 पर जाता है, एंड सपोज q1 भी 0 के ट्रांजिशन से कहाँ जाता है, q2 पर जाता है, राइट. सिमिलरली q0 1 के ट्रांजिशन से स्टेट q3 पर जाता है और q1 भी क्या है, वो q3 पर जाता है. सो व्हाट आई सी हियर दैट q0 और q1 पर हर अल्फ़ाबेट से उनके ट्रांजिशन कहाँ हैं, सेम स्टेट पर मूव कर रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स आई कैन मर्ज दीज टू स्टेट्स. दैट मीन्स q0 और q1 कैसे हैं मेरे लिए, एक जैसे हैं. एक जैसे हैं दैट मीन्स इक्वलेंट हैं. अगर इक्वलेंट हैं देन वी कैन मर्ज दीज टू स्टेट्स. So this is the concept of the equivalent states. So I can write it, I can design this DFA, that is q0 comma 1 into one state, 0 per transition or 1 per transition. So this is my q2 and this is my q3, right. So q0 and q1 has been merged. So what I have merged here, that I was having 4 states and I have merged 2 states and reduced my DFA up to 3 states only, right. So in any DFA I will try to find out all these equivalent states, and if I am able to find out the equivalent states I will merge them, right. So let us see that how we proceed for finding the equivalent states. So we use the partition method for the minimization of DFA. I start with an example here. This is my example which is having q0 to q5, that means overall 6 states are here, right, and each state is having a unique transition because this is a DFA, and my objective is to find the equivalent states in this DFA, right. So what is the first step? Number 1, remove the unreachable states from the DFA. Unreachable state, or we can also say the dead states. उनको मैं क्या कहता हूँ, dead states. So what is the meaning of the unreachable state? Let's suppose I start with the q0 and I am not able to reach that state. Initial state से मैंने start किया, and suppose I am not able to reach a state starting from the initial state, that I call it as a initial state. So I try to find क्या ऐसी state इसमें है कोई कि जिस state पर मैं initial state से ना पहुँच पाऊँ. q0 से q1 पर पहुँच रहा हूँ, q0 से q2 पर भी पहुँच रहा हूँ, q0 से q3 पर भी पहुँच रहा हूँ और q0 से q4 पर भी पहुँच रहा हूँ और q0 से q5 पर भी पहुँच रहा हूँ. That means there is no dead state or unreachable state in this diagram. Second step, once we are sure that there is no unreachable state, second step, split the states into 2 sets. One is the set T1, that is the set of final state, and T2, that is the set of non final states, right. My DFA may have more than one final states. So next step क्या है, split the number of states into 2 sets. One is final state, set of second, set of non final states. So in this example, for a I have the set of final states, that is the q1, q2, q4, because this is double circle q1, q2 and q4 set of final state, and set of non final states are q0, q3 and q5, right. So, this is the first step. Second step is I will start each state or the each set to find the equivalent states. अब मुझको ये देखना है कि इस सेट में कौन सी स्टेट्स इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट्स हैं, राइट. सिमिलरली मुझे इसके बाद देखना है कि इस सेट ऑफ स्टेट्स में कौन कौन सी स्टेट्स इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट्स हैं. सो हाउ आई विल फाइंड, आई एम वेरी क्लियर अबाउट इट, दैट सपोज फाइंड द इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट्स इन T2, Q0, Q3 एंड Q5. तो मैंने क्या सीखा था कि इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट्स पता करने के लिए, इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट पता करने के लिए मैं क्या करूँगा, उनके ट्रांजिशंस चेक करूँगा, और वो ट्रांजिशंस अगर सेम स्टेट पर जाते हैं तो मैं उन स्टेट्स को कैसे बोलूँगा, इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट. सो लेट्स सी दैट Q0 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जा रहा है, Q3, Q0 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जा रहा है, Q1, राइट. नाउ Q3 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जाता है, Q0, Q3 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जाता है, Q4. सो Q3 बिलोंग्स टू T2. Q3 कहाँ से बिलोंग करता है, T2 को बिलोंग करता है. Q3 कहाँ है आपका, T2 सेट में है, राइट. Q1 कहाँ पर है, दैट इज इन माई T1 सेट. T1 में क्या क्या है मेरे पास, 1 to 4, that is Q1, Q2, Q4. So this is belongs to my T1. Q3 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जाता है, T2, राइट. और Q3 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जाता है, T1. So T2, T1, this is T2, T1, right. That means and Q5, Q5 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जाता है, T2, और Q5 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन कहाँ जाता है, ये T2. So this is an odd one. This is an odd one because Q5 का ट्रांजिशन 1 पर कहाँ पहुँचता है, T2 पर. अगर ये भी T1 पर पहुँच जाता, राइट, अगर ये भी T1 पर पहुँच जाता तो मेरे हिसाब से Q0, Q3, Q5 कैसी स्टेट्स हो जाती हैं आपकी, इक्विवेलेंट स्टेट्स हो जाती हैं, राइट. बट हियर आई सी दैट Q0 एंड Q3 आर बिलोंगिंग टू द सेम सेट. Q0, Q3 जो है वो सेम सेट को बिलोंग कर रही हैं, जबकि Q5 जो है वो आपका 0 पर तो सेम है, बट Q5 का जो 1 का ट्रांजिशन है वो आपको डिफरेंट स्टेट पर ले जा रहा है. दैट मीन्स Q5 इज डिफरेंट. सो हियर we can merge the Q0 and Q3. Q0 and Q3 are equivalent because they are moving to the same states, but Q5 is distinguished. Q5 क्यों distinguished हो गया, just because of the transition of 1, right. So Q0 and Q3 can be merged here, or we can say that these are the equivalent. So this Q0, Q3, Q5 can be split into two parts, that is T3 and T4, that is Q0 and Q3 and Q5. One is Q5, Q0, Q3 and one is Q5. ठीक. अब मैं चेक करूंगा क्या Q0, Q3 इक्विवेलेंट हैं. So Q0 is going to Q3, that is belonging to Q3, sorry set T3, same T3. Q0 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन Q1 वो T1 पर जाता है आपका, दैट इज माई T1. Q3 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन Q0 पर जाता है, दैट इज माई T3. और Q3 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन Q4 पर जाता है, दैट इज माई T1. हैंस Q0 एंड Q3 आर इक्विवेलेंट बिकॉज दे आर मूविंग टू द सेम सेट T3 T1, T3 T1. ये भी T3 स्टेट पर जाता है 0 पर, ये भी 0 पर T3 स्टेट पर जाता है. Q0 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन T1 पर जाता है, Q3 पर भी 1 का ट्रांजिशन T1 स्टेट पर जाता है. हैंस Q0 एंड Q3 आर इक्विवेलेंट, सो देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द पार्टीशन फर्दर. Q5 कैन नॉट बी पार्टीशन फर्दर बिकॉज दिस इज ए सिंगल स्टेट. सिंगल स्टेट तक हम पार्टीशन करके देखते हैं, अगर सिंगल स्टेट है तो उसको हम फर्दर पार्टीशन नहीं कर सकते, राइट. नाउ वी विल चेक फॉर दी Q1, Q2, Q4. सो Q1 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन Q2, दैट इज स्टेट T1, Q1 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन, Q5 दैट इज स्टेट T3, Q2 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन Q2 दैट बिलोंग्स टू T1, Q2 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन दैट बिलोंग्स टू T3. दैट मीन्स Q1 एंड Q2 आर इक्वलेंट स्टेट्स, क्योंकि ये T1 T3 T1 3. नाउ वी मूव फॉरवर्ड एंड चेक फॉर द Q4. Q4 पर 0 का ट्रांजिशन T1 को मूव करता है और Q4 पर 1 का ट्रांजिशन Q5 पर मूव करता है, दैट इज अगेन T3. सो दिस इज T1 T3 T1 T3 T1 T3. सो व्हाट वी सी दैट Q1 Q2 Q4 ऑल 3 स्टेट्स आर इक्वलेंट, क्योंकि इन पर 0 और 1 के ट्रांजिशन जो हैं वो सेम स्टेट्स पर मूव करते हैं. सो Q1 Q2 Q4 आर equivalent states, hence they can be merged into one state. So, if I finalize this DFA diagram, what I see that Q1, Q2 and Q4 can be put into one state, Q0 and Q3 in one state, and Q5 is a single state, right. Then we complete this DFA with the help of transition table or the previous. So, if I compare with the earlier DFA which was having 3 plus 3 that is 6 states, now my reduced DFA is having only 3 states. That means, I have reduced the number of states by 50%. So, if I am able to reduce the number of states, then I am optimizing my compiler, right. So, minimization of DFA help us to optimize my compiler. So, again I just repeat or conclude my class. I started with the concept of finite state machine, that was of two type. One is the finite automata or the deterministic finite automata or non-deterministic finite automata. Then I compared both DFA and NFA and their transition function. DFA is having the transition function Q cross sigma is mapped with the Q, while in NFA Q cross sigma is mapped with 2 raised to the power Q. Second, it can DFA can accept null DFA cannot accept null moves, while the NFA can accept null moves. Next, we move to the regular expression. Regular expression, basically we see the symbol, that what symbol can be used to describe the tokens. Then after writing some examples of the regular expression, we try to write the regular expression for our tokens of a C language, and C language tokens are keyword, identifier, operation, digits and punctuation symbols. Then we analyze that a DFA may have a number of states, but for writing the optimized compiler we should minimize the DFA. For minimizing the DFA, I discuss the concept of the equivalent state, and I show that how we can find the equivalent states. Then we use the concept of the minimization of DFA with the partition method, which we are using. This is called the partition method. We try to find out the equivalent states in the set and partition if it is having a equivalent states or not equivalent states, right. So, by finding the equivalent states, we merge the equivalent states. Once we have merged the equivalent states, we find the minimized DFA, right. So, after minimization of DFA, we can reduce the states simply, right. Thanks. One more thing, that is the bootstrapping. That is, bootstrapping is basically used to write the compiler of a language for another language, right. So, for example, this bootstrapping is decided by 3 languages: source language, implementation language and target language. Suppose I want to write a compiler of Pascal for the C conversion, in which implementation language is C, right. But suppose I want to convert this compiler of the Pascal, but now I want to implement this compiler in C++, right. So, how can I write? First I will convert this Pascal compiler to C, and I will design a bootstrap here, that is the intermediate, which will be implemented, for which C will be the source language, C++ will be the target language, and this X will be a implementation language. So, by using the concept of this conversion, I can convert this Pascal to C by using C++ as a implementation language, right. So, this is a small concept of the bootstrapping for writing the compiler. This is also called as the SIT model or the SIT model of the compiler, right. Thank you.